a little while ago, I went around to all of the Family Dollars in my area and asked if they had any Pokemon cards. I went to like 5 that were around me. And so I have some Astral Radiance, which will open up in this video. I also have some other stuff. It's not too old, but it was enough to pique my interest. So I want to open these up as I talk to you about a very important topic, which is tariffs. Because, you know, it's been in the news recently. And if we look back in history, we can see like, hey, there's some things that we need to keep in mind. Okay, so see, we got coin here. This card. Oh, and this guy. Okay. So when it comes to tariffs, what is a tariff? Well, it's basically a tax on imported goods. Like if that's what you're asking, that's the definition. Okay, tax on imported goods. Now, why is it a tax on imported goods? The idea is called protectionism. Another phrase, okay? So the idea is that, hey, we make products here in America. We want us to be more competitive because, you know, it costs money to have human rights and things like that. And so we want to encourage people to buy American, and American products are going to be more expensive. So what this means is if a tariff is a tax on imported goods, then we want it so that the products from overseas cost more, even though they normally cost less to make. And by less, I mean like if we're looking at, I don't know, Canada, you know, is going to be more on par with us. But if it is being made in Thailand or something, then it'll be a lot cheaper. And so if we add a fee on top of that, a tariff, then maybe that price will be more appealing to buy it American. So if something that you buy from Temu costs $3 and the American version costs $10, you're probably going to buy the Temu version, to be honest. However, if there is a tariff on top, then it makes it so that, okay, now because that Temu price is more expensive, then that means that I might consider buying the American made version of that product. Now, there's a lot of ripple effects to this. Again, nothing is that simple. But one of the major problems here with this is that it's going to make everything more expensive, and everything's already expensive. That is not what we're looking for at this point in time. Okay, now if you look back at the Holly Smoot tariff, the one that is in Ferris Bueller's Day Out, which is a good classic American movie, then you might remember that this was a tariff put on right at the beginning of the Great Depression. And, oh my goodness, okay. That's like one of the coolest cards I've ever gotten. Wow, okay. Interesting. So it actually hurt us pretty bad. The world was hurting, obviously. It was a Great Depression. But that was particularly not helpful. I also found this one. Funny thing, these packs with the coins were like $5. This was $7.50, and I didn't know it until it was too late. So I was like, oh boy, but that's okay. I'm too lazy to go and switch it out. Okay, so it comes with this guy. All right, so last pack here. So basically, the reason why I'm talking about this is because tariffs are, in theory, protectionist. And I mean, they are protectionist. The idea is that we can convince people to buy more American-made products if we stop flooding the market with cheaply made goods. Fine, understandable. It makes economics seem a little bit more simplistic than it is. But the main thing is that things are already, at this current point in time, they are too expensive. I mean, we all know that. So to implement a tariff that makes things more expensive probably not the best idea, especially since a lot of what we buy comes from overseas at the moment. And again, I understand the concept here, but I just suggest you think about it further. All right, so that was how many? 4 packs of Astral Radiance, and I don't know how much this is, but that is a neat looking card. All right, so let's see what happens next.